Beta readers. Do you need them? Where do you find them? And what's the difference between a beta reader and a critique partner? Cue the intro. Hey, and welcome to this episode. I want to talk about beta readers and a little bit about the difference between beta readers and critiquing partners. And again, this is to share my experiences of my journey as an aspiring writer of fantasy fiction, heading towards becoming a debut novelist, heading down the path of traditional publishing. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification button, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and make sure you continue to keep writing. All right, beta readers. I didn't really understand the importance of beta readers when I started my journey because I was naive, I guess, at the time. But the more research I did, I understood that when you are really close to your work, it's hard to look objectively at it. That's better. It's hard to look objectively at it. And there might be some grammatical issues, there could be some voice, some pacing issues, some character development. There's all these sorts of things that you need an outside perspective looking in on it. So beta readers is a good place to start for people to review your work. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, these people need to love the genre you're writing in. There's no point in me giving my fantasy epic fiction to someone who loves real life stories. Does that make sense? The feedback I'm going to get from this person is useless. They don't like what I'm writing about anyway. So make sure your beta readers love the genre you are writing in. That's the first thing. The next thing is, where do you find beta readers? Well, the best place to start looking is your immediate group of friends and family. That's what I did. I've been recommended half a dozen online groups of beta readers and critiquing partners. There's these groups online. So far, they've been absolutely useless for me personally. There's people on there spamming. There's one person, they left a comment when I asked, I was looking for beta readers. They left a comment, it seemed like a genuine comment. Then when I had a look at their profile, they've been leaving this comment for the last 2 years. So some sort of troll looking for ideas, other people's work to take, just all sorts of rubbish. That's my personal experience so far, which has been very disappointing. Okay, and you do need to protect your work at the end of the day. So I look to my immediate friends and family for those who love epic fantasy, and would they be interested in being a beta reader for me? I got my beta readers in that immediate group and I sent out the prologue and first 4 chapters of my manuscript. That's where I started. So I'd recommend that you do the same. The next group of beta readers for me were my immediate network. So here's my immediate network, the people outside there. And the reason I went for those is to give me more probably constructive criticism that maybe my immediate friends or family didn't want to give me, even though I said, please just, if it's shit, just tell me it's shit. You know what I mean? I want to grow as a writer. The immediate feedback I got was really good, and I have worked hard. I'm on my 7th revision, can you believe that, of my first draft? But the immediate feedback was fantastic. The next network outside that, the beta readers are giving me different feedback, still very positive, but they're looking at big picture things, which is fantastic. Some of the character development, maybe the voice, the language you're using in the voice is a little bit different here and there. So it's been wonderful for me so far. So just to revise over that again, if you are looking for beta readers, start with your immediate friends and family. Make sure they love the genre you are writing in, but also make sure that they can be honest with their feedback to you. There's no point everyone telling you it's fantastic. It's nice to hear that, don't get me wrong, But if you're starting out as a writer like I am, I know I've got lots to work on. So please tell me the things that I need to hear. I've got thick skin. Tell me those so I can grow as a writer. Does that make sense to you? Another thing to keep in mind is, with the first group that I approached to be my beta readers, I had a list of questions, but I didn't give them the questions before. I said there'll be grammatical issues because I'm still going through the editing process, but I just want you to enjoy the story, hopefully. Enjoy the story. I want you to feel it, to smell it. Can you see it? Can you touch it? Does it captivate you? Is it alluring? Does it make you high? Does it make you shiver? Does that make sense? I just wanted them to feel my work. If I gave them a list of questions, I didn't want them to have a red pen out and start marking things and taking notes while they were reading. I made sure that they just enjoyed it, and then I did the questions with them on a live call. I love doing a live call because people can give you more feedback as opposed to just writing down bullet points. That worked really, really well because they read through it and then they gave me the feedback after, and I got to see that did it have that emotional effect. The second group, however, I've gone through the questions first, sort of treating them maybe a little bit more like a critiquing partner or what an editor would do, picking up any mistakes and pointing things out to me. Again, they're a contact, in other words, they're not someone I know directly, so it's fine for them to give me some really good constructive criticism. Hope that's been helpful to you on where to find beta readers, and hopefully you have a better experience online than I have had thus far. It's been ridiculous. All right, the difference between a beta reader and a critiquing partner, to my knowledge, is a critiquing partner is usually someone who writes. So obviously their feedback will be a lot different to someone who just reads. Reading is a great place to start because they love reading those works so they can pick up similarities, or maybe there's some things you need to work on because they're reading that genre all the time. But compared to someone who is writing, it'll be different feedback. Does that make sense? So a critiquing partner is normally someone who writes. Who should you look for as a critiquing partner? Well, again, someone who loves the genre that you are writing in. I would recommend trying to find someone who is a little bit higher than where you are currently at as a writer. Does that make sense? It's like doing martial arts. You're always trying to get that next belt. So you always want to be working, in my opinion, with someone who's better than you. So you can always challenge yourself to improve. So you need to find out where you are as a writer and then find a critiquing partner who is a little bit higher. Again, I ask for an overarching view. I'm talking about big picture, plot line holes, character development. Is the voice strong? Is there pacing issues that you felt in it? Those sorts of things. And that's a critiquing partner, okay? So, to wrap it up, your beta readers start off with your friends, your family who love the genre you're in. And then for a second group of beta readers, maybe go to your network's network. That way, they're okay giving you more constructive criticism because they don't really know you, so they're not too worried about offending you. And then the difference between the beta readers and the critiquing partners is these are people who write, and find one who writes your genre, who is a little bit higher than you in your level of writing. All right, I've got to get back into my writing. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, turn on the notifications so you can get my next video. All right, I'll catch you guys soon.